Alright, this evening I will be making some simple butter tart, I should say. You're going to want to grab yourself frozen flour, and I already have my butter thawed. Okay. Larger bowl here, 2 cups of flour on every. I'm doing 2 cups of flour myself. You could cut this in. I'm doubling my recipe. 1, 2. Alright, so grab yourself a big fork. Alright, grab myself a big fork here. Okay. Now, if you ever, a way to thaw your butter out really quick if you keep it in the fridge like I do, is just put it on your stove top. The metal itself, even when you're gonna de-thaw any kind of meat thaw any kind of meat, all you got to do is put it on directly on the metal, and the metal itself, the way it radiates, it might feel cold to you, but it works really fast in to thaw something. So anyways, there we go. Now you could always, a lot of people might throw out this. This is good for greasing a pan, or 2 or 3 in fact, if you ever need it. Real fast and easy, rather than throwing them out. Anyways, here I'm just going to break this up really quick before the butter stiffens back up from the cold flour. All I'm trying to do right now is break it off into little tiny chunks real fast, just to save my time here. There we go. Now you want about at least 1/8 of a cup. 1/8 of a cup for every cup of flour you want. And then you can go up to 1/4 cup even if you want. Now, because I used about 1/8 a cup, I went on the lean side there. I'm going to do this, and I'm not doing too much at a time. I can just use my big fork here and try to chop up the butter into the smallest little bits I can, while trying to rub them down with the edge of my spoon while I'm trying to turn here in the bowl, so I'm not left with any actual chunks, but they'll be more like little flat morsels in there. Now it should look like crumbs in here, really light crumbs. Alright. Now, my butter is unsalted, so I'm just gonna put a pinch of salt in there. Alright. Mix it around thoroughly. Disgusting to go into just a little bit of just really salty. Okay, you're gonna want about maybe go about 1/2 cup of water, depending on how well you measured I've got a little more water than I need, I know that. I just don't want to make 10 trips to the sink. So anyways, we're just gonna get this in a little ball here. Now I'm doing like a nest in here. And I'm keeping the lump here in the center, and I'm just working it in a ball, and I'm letting it gather from the sides. And then I can just let it get very wet again. and I'm not, like, I'm actually just wiggling with the, like, it's all staying there in pretty much one big lump, and I'm not kneading it or working it or anything like that. It'd be the worst thing you can do. Oh, maybe just have enough water there. I thought I had better. All right. Just gonna rub the edge of the bowl real fast. All right, and just a little more. Yep. Say I had just a little more in a cup, and pretty much all I needed. Now you can see I just got the lump there. I'm just kind of rubbing the side of the bowl there to clean it with what I got, like a little bit left on my fork here. Alright, so now I'm just going to use my finger and rub right down on the fork. And I'm going to just toss this. Okay. So she's just a little wet here and there. So I have a little flour I always keep near the stove. I'm just going to put a dash of flour on. And what that does, as soon as I do that, it'll help me with my fingers. First of all, clean them off. Alright. Now I'm just going to try to get it together without squishing it too much. But you see how it breaks apart? That's because there's a little flour in there. And what you're trying to do is just get the moisture in without working it too much. And it will come together in a bit anyways, by itself. Alright. Now it's just a little tacky again. So you can see how I'm just going around like this. Just rolling it a little. Just kind of gets everything, all the little cracks, see the little cracks that were there, kind of just go away without having to squish it hard. As soon as you squish it, you're gonna, it's like kneading it, and you're gonna stretch all the, I guess you want to call it gluten in there. So I like to do that in the bowl. You'll see all the cracks, how they come up, and what happens is they just kind of push themselves back down like that, so that you're not actually kneading anything. It's just the cracks are coming to the surface, if you will. Again, like that. See? So that's how I'm doing it in the bowl. So all the cracks just kind of, now that's gotten sticky again. So all it does now with it has no cracks anywhere on it. Now I'm just gonna give it a little light coating. And you'll see it's easy to handle now. You can hear it's just slipping. Now it's very, very moist, but just easy to handle. It's not going to be sticky or anything like that. Alright, so our dough is ready. Okay, now I'm going to put the water just right here. I'm going to be able to use that maybe again. Okay, I'll need this. Oh, I'll need that again anyways. You can put the lid on that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is stretch. I should lift it. Yeah. I'm going to stretch my dough here real quick. And we're going to need a pan. Now, I happen to be doing one, it's going to be this big. Alright, so I'm going to just sprinkle, make sure the camera can see. Okay, good, right? Alright, so I'm just going to sprinkle out here like that. Right, you're going to want a little more flour. I'm just going to set my bowl aside. Now, when you put this down, try to go right away into a little square. Don't go circular. Okay, so, or I should say rectangle, but squarish, I should say, with the edges. Now, if you just from about 3/4 of the way from the where you're going to start and work it out, all right, and then use your other hand. To always, when you're pushing one way, you're pushing down essentially on the other side, and you'll see it just kind of develop into the shape you want. Then you can just grab your corners a little bit and square them up to help yourself. Alright, just grab a little flour. I should show you my flour there. I have it a little high. Alright, now we're just going to turn it real quick. Okay. Okay. I'm just pushing it down firmly. Now I'm going to work the corners a little again. Okay, now I'm going to at the same time go up the edge. Now you can see how I don't know if you can see how it just kind of moved out one side. So now when I go up this side, it'll do the same. Alright. Alright. I'm going to flip it again. Now I'm just trying to get it, not to say as thin as I can, but just to a very close roughness so that when my rolling pin starts, it's not going to start putting this into a circle, because rolling pins want, just squish out exactly essentially the shape you have. Now, I'm just going to move this over a bit here because I know my rolling pin and the way, how much room it's going to need here. But anyways, just going to go across. Alright, now here I'm not actually pushing the whole, I'm just doing a little on each side so I can stretch it out evenly. Here I do go across, but I start 3/4 and I come back. And then I actually leave the edges a little thicker and meatier so I can get back around here. Okay. Now that's about the shape you're going to look for here. Just going to make sure I'm not sticking or anything like that. Sprinkle a little down here. So to this side. Make sure I'm good here. Alright. Now, if you just fold this into 4s, bring this in. There's no need to be pretty here right away. Okay, here we go. Now, what you're going to want to do is come up on this kind of pan here. You'll be able to see how high I go close to the top. Corners, if you want, go a little extra. Alright. That was a real, and again, one reason you really wanted to measure your thickness here and make sure you got a good thickness is for this, because you wouldn't want to have a thicker or thinner dough everywhere. It needs to be very even for the cook. Alright, so now you see any areas that might have like a little air underneath, just push around. If it looks a little thinner, like maybe because your finger or an edge went through a little, just make sure to thicken it a little here and there where you need it, thin it where you want. Alright, now if you want here, it's not too hard, but you just go Now I'm trying not to push with these two fingers. More or less, I'm holding it firmly, lifting it slightly, and then pressing back down in the middle. So it's just like a light little pinch, but that's going up and firmly against, and that little extra dough that I'm bringing together, I push back down. And it gives you that little crowned edge that you're going to look for. Okay, now some people will tell you go ahead and cook that right away. I personally don't. I'm just going to set that aside. Now we have a counter here to say what I'm going to do here is just gather all this flour. It's not fat or anything like that. Has a little butter in it too, here and there. Okay. Okay. Now you can grab a pan, right, or a saucepan if you will. All right, now what I'm just going to use is the edge of my towel here. Go ahead and put that all in there. Right. Okay. That in too. Now that you don't even have to count because you know there's not even a quarter teaspoon there. Maybe a quarter teaspoon, a little more there. All right, so now we'll put that aside here. All right, so now we're going to look for 2 extra large eggs. All right, I just happen to have 2 left without having to do this. Now grab yourself a bowl, crack your eggs. I have not turned my my pan on yet. See. Okay, that's a nice egg. We'll put him in. Okay, next egg. Okay, nice. Okay. Oh, I screwed up there and I meant to go like that. Okay. Now we're going to grab about, now it depends how much you're going to want, but I like about 1/3 of a cup of butter for about every cup of flour. Why I went a little lighter also on the amount of butter I used in my dough, but I want about 1/3 of a cup. Now I happen to have taken mine out not too long ago, so it's still going to be rather firm from the freezer. I keep my butter, I buy it when it's really cheap. All right, usually $2.90 or $2.99 a pound is when I buy my butter. I usually buy a lot of butter. Now butter has a little chart here, quarter cup, half cup, and they show you how big the cups are. So a quarter cup essentially is to say more than we're going to want. Hang on, no, less than we're going to want, but half a cup is far too much. But if you want, just roughly go in the middle of those two and you're pretty nice. Now we're going to want 2 of those in here. So I'm going to grab my good knife for cutting through here. So anyways, we're going to want 2 of these, and then so about that much from here to about there. All right. go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the pan here really, really hot actually, just to help melt this down. All right. This won't take long at all. Okay. Now, you're also going to want in a separate bowl, we're going to bring this bowl back out here again. You're going to want to put 2 cups of sugar. Now these are 1/3 for me, my measuring cup. That's 1 cup. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's 2 cups there. Now you can go ahead and do a 50-50 brown sugar. It works out really, really nice. But if you're going to use brown sugar, make sure to pack your brown sugar really tight in your cups, because that makes a huge difference in the sweetness. Okay. Now, a lot of recipes will call for I'm just gonna assist this while I'm talking. A lot of recipes will call for vanilla in butter tarts. I personally don't put any in. You're more than welcome to. What's also good, if you really just want a little change in them, is a little, you can put a few good big tablespoons, up to 3 or 4 good tablespoons of cocoa powder, if you will, in it, or even if you don't have that, 1 or 2 tablespoons of chocolate syrup is also really delicious. Now, the butter here is starting to boil in some, or not boil, but bubble in some spots. So what I'm trying to do is move where I'm working over those areas, because this butter is still very cold. All right. Now I got pretty much just all broke down for frozen butter. Alright. Okay, now in your sugar, while this is going, grab yourself a tablespoon, and you're going to want roughly 4 tablespoons. Just grabbing a little more flour here. You can hear the butter. Watch your butter. All right. Now you can still see I still have a few lumps of butter, but the butter is definitely bubbling a little here. So I'm going to actually turn down my heat now right down to low. Alright, I'm going to grab 2 for each recipe, but 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to leave the flour out. Alright, just got a few more lumps in here. Alright, they're pretty much down. Now what I'm going to do here is, okay, hang on. Now you would put your vanilla in here if you want right now. You can go ahead. And what I'm going to go do is grab some milk. And I'm going to put again 2 tablespoons. 2 tablespoons for each. So I'm actually going to put 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. 4. Now this is cooled off as soon as I did that. And I'm going to whip in my eggs real fast here. Make sure to whip those eggs in there. Not to stop. And don't just do it in one area. Do it everywhere. Now, I'm just doing this to help mix the flour up a little with the, I should have just done that a second ago. All right, now we'll go ahead and it's quite a bit in here. I didn't want it to be that much, but easier for you guys to see, I guess. All right, now just trying to get all the sugar mixed up here. There we go. Now you can turn your oven on to 350. I'm going to turn the light on. Now I'm just going to lift up the heat here just a bit. Go ahead and take that and that out of here. Alright. Okay. We can pull our dough back over here. Actually, we'll just move it out of the way for another second. Alright. Okay. go. Now you can see how this looks. Clearly it's runny. Go ahead and if you feel like tasting it, you know, it's very hot, but you can get your idea exactly what it's going to taste like. Just see how these bubbles, they form out on the sides. That's what I'm just kind of trying to keep out, mixing. Grab yourself a spatula. Alright. This is literally just, little bubbles are just starting to make their way to the top now. Just. Nothing big or fast. Alright, a few bigger bubbles here have made it up to the top now, just a few. That's essentially saying that this has gotten pretty hot. Yeah. This is a thick bottom pan, so I know it's going to hold its heat for a little longer than a... Also, now you might not see this so clearly. You'll get more and more of a froth, like a little bubbly froth that's around the edges. I keep trying to mix that in and keep it into the middle. And that's also you'll get more and more of that. Okay, now make sure the bottom is really well mixed. Grab your dough. Now I'm just going to this and like this. And now we're going to pour. And there. Now you can see literally we're just starting to want to get gold here. Literally just started to want to get gold there. Try to show you maybe in the pan if you can, well you can see it right up in here. Sure, I don't think you can see it actually that well. Oh yeah, you can. If I get that right angle right there. Okay, just beside the white. Trying to look at the pan. Yeah, okay, just beside the white glob there. You can see how it's a little brown just underneath on the bottom there. In fact, let's see if I can get the other fork here. Let's see here. There, can you see it there? The color. There's a little bit of gold there just starting. Okay. Alright. So now, what you're going to do is, you got to be, in fact, maybe, do I have it handy? If I do, no, I don't think I have it handy. I was going to say, okay, now what you want to do here is make sure you don't get any little clumps of flour. You just want like the dash of the flour, okay? Now just literally move a lot while you're doing this. Okay, and like I say, you're not looking, oh, now my edge just dropped a little over there. So I'm just going to lift it here. Ah. No harm. No harm. All right. Now, again, I'm just going to do this a little more. Now, what this is, you just want to dash everywhere. What this is going to do is, if you've ever bought a like a butter tart from the store, and you notice they have like, it's not crispy at all, but it's like at the top of their butter tart, it's like got a little bit of a more goldeny little, like a fudge-like texture. It's just the flour. I'll show you on that. All right, now we want about 20 minutes on this. All right, and then we're gonna come back. So I'm just throwing it on 20 minutes right now. All right, and start the timer, and we're putting her in. All right, I'll be back when it's beeping. All right, we got a little beep going here. All right, I'm going to shut this off and pull this out to show you. Okay, now can you see it? Hope you can see that. I don't want to tilt it because it's still very juicy, and you can still see there's some juice in here. Anyways, I'll try to actually get closer from this angle, maybe. All right. Okay, I think you can see the gold here. Now, you'll see how it's got like it's not crusty, but you're gonna see it's got like that form of texture to it. I don't mind putting a little hole here and just showing you how the color is different right in there. See, so you can see it's clearly there's a. In fact, I might even give me a second, and I'll get a little spoon and maybe try to show you the middle here. How it is still very okay. So now you're going to see the man, you can barely see it. I'll pick a little more up here. Okay, in fact, I'll try to show you how thick. See how it's, now it just wants to drip in drops here. All right, don't want to waste any. A few drops ain't bad. Essentially, it's like really thick, warm honey in here. Wow, is that good? It's a little hot, but it's almost jellyish. Now, my sides, they didn't fall down, but some of them just drooped a little. All right. Now, what I want to do is actually leave it in the oven for another 10 minutes. I just took it out to show you here. Now I shut the oven off, and I'll leave her in there for another 10. All right. We're going to come back when she's beeped. You don't, usually I'll just, you could leave the door open on the oven and just walk away, come back in a half hour or whatever you want. The idea is to start letting it cool down in here because, it's cooked. Everything's cooked. Now we just want it to make sure that the dough gets properly cooked right through, and we don't need much, because of the oven being as hot as it is, you don't need any more energy. So just wait another 10 minutes, come back. And what we'll be doing at that point is just taking it out. We'll just be taking it out and letting it cool some more. So I'll be back in a few when that goes beep. All right, we got a little beep here. now you can definitely let it start cooling. The oven is still, you know, it might have a little bit of heat. I'm personally going to put mine on the ceramic counter. It cools off a lot quicker. I'm going to probably leave it out for about a half hour, if not maybe 45 minutes on the counter to cool off. And then I'm going to transfer it to the, well, I'm personally going to transfer mine to the freezer. You could put yours in the fridge. I'm going to bring it back out when it's just at the right consistency and temperature to be able to cut and everything, so we can make the video of finish the video. So anyways, I'll see you back when I have this all ready to like I say, when I have it all ready to cut up. Alright, I just took this out of the freezer. I had it in there for about, I don't know, 15 minutes after I had it about 45 minutes on the counter. So it's not even warm at all now. It's not frozen or anything. It's really cold though. Anyway, grab yourself a knife. Now this here, I should just pick, you know, I can just pick it up and show you like that, how it, you know, it's not like it's going down or anything like that. Now you're gonna see here, you'll see, you can even hear it, and you can see it how it's kind of just like a little flaky there. All right, but you can see how I can break it, and it'll actually crumble down. Okay, and there's like just a little top layer there. That's from the flour that I added. Anyways, how I like to cut this is into 3 across this way. Now go about a third in. And I try to hold my pastry edge up. All right. Sure, just double draw that. All right. Do another one here. Nice. Okay, now I'm gonna cut it in half. Now I try to keep, don't drag your knife through like this, or you'll end up breaking and tearing and pulling everything. Try to drag your knife through as best of an angle as you can when you go through first time. All right, now after you cut it in half, you can go ahead and cut it again in your thirds like you did on your other one. Cut here. All right, and another third there. These into this half into thirds. Now I usually eat 2 pieces at a time, and I'm actually I like the pastry myself, the crust. Of course, you like the butter tart flavor with it, but what I tend to do is eat 2 at a time. And what I'll do, oh, I dropped my dish towel there. Anyways, what I'll do is I'll eat 2 at a time. So I'll eat like 1, 2 here. I'll eat 1, 2 here. I'll eat 1, 2, 1, 2, and then I'll eat these 2. And then I'll eat a corner piece with a center one, a corner with a center, a corner with a center, and a corner with a center. And the reason I eat them that way is because to get the little extra crust difference would be there, you know. So that's why I cut them this way too. So anyways, here you're gonna have 18 easy pieces here. I'm gonna grab a little plate for myself. All right, grab just a little plate. so. We'll grab ourselves alright. There's one. Grab the other one here. And two. Alright. Now, I like to keep these in the freezer. They will, especially if it's warm out, start to sag. I don't find, literally, I can eat them frozen. They don't even really freeze that hard. They stay very soft. But like 2 minutes out and they're ready to eat. I think they're the best right out of the freezer. So anyways, there you go anyways. I'm just gonna, I guess, have a little bite here. I am going to pour myself a glass of milk and go and have these. Anyways, so you can see nice thick sauce there. Nice. Not too sweet. Oh. Easy to make these disappear though. Hope you liked them. Like I say, I'm going to put this in the freezer. It's already cut up. They break apart really easy right out of the freezer. You just take the fork, pry them out as you need them. Anyways, hope that was a simple butter tart for you. Alright.